a message to Prime Minister KEIR Starmer from me, Cowboy Diablo, Derek Diablo, American Hooligan, Miami Casuals, Diablo TV. Like and subscribe, do things you're supposed to do. And I'd like to bring something to your attention, which is being spoken about all around the world. You've got the man, Stephen YAXLEY, aka Imposter Tommy Robinson, locked up. You got him incarcerated in the who's cow, in the belly of the beast. And then you got Elon Musk meddling in your politics, asking that he be free. Now here's the thing, to give you some background in case you don't know. Now me, I'm the American Hooligan, and I'm looking to be the king of the influencer boxing scene, white collar boxing scene in the UK. And going back a couple years, I was in negotiations with Misfits, the Zone Boxing. Man like Mams Taylor, but he blew it, he's out of here, you understand? And the thing is, I was in negotiations to be on the undercard of KSI versus FaZe Temper. And then I was filming a bunch of things, but this is Cat if we're talking now, all right? On the Central Club podcast, a guy who they call Cardiff Baby Huey, Cullen Mice, he's the leader of the EDL, English Defence League, Welsh branch, if that makes any sense to you. Anyway, he was starved for viral content. He wanted me to get some viral content. He didn't feel like we were getting viral content. And he's a big Tommy Robinson supporter, obviously. And a lot of people out there, a lot of my supporters are. And I don't got a problem with the guy personal. I'm about prize fighting, and I'm about business and making money, understand? And this Baby Huey chap, he asked me, would I do a right versus left debate versus this YAXLEY? And the thing about it is, I talked to some of my guys, didn't I, in Plymouth, and they told me, you know, dude, my man Plymouth Ryan, understand, the mastermind that I work with, my co-creator, my co-booker, as it were. And he said, I told him, well, I'm going to do this on Thursday. They want me to do this debate. And I told him I'm not involved in politics anymore. But this has brought me back in, baby. And here's the thing. He says, and we was thinking that great minds think alike. And he told me, fuck off, though. You know what you do? He said, you wind the cunt up, get him to kick off on you, shout out the Zone, you'll be in the main event. So now you can look back to this podcast, and to me, it's the greatest work of improv comedy, or professional wrestling, or fight promotion, publicity stunt that's ever been done. Now here's the thing, you look at it, it's very complex, there's many layers to it. But this YAXLEY, you know, for all his good points that he may have, and he says some good things that anybody can agree with, he didn't understand what I was getting ready to do, which was punk him, and play him, and prank him. Because I already know he can't fight. Everybody knows he can't fight. Now if he has a group of people and an army behind him, and he sniffed up, you know, he looks good on camera, but the fact is, sorry, he's a coward and he can't fight. Everybody knows it. They call him Tommy Saftans, and he's not the real Tommy Robinson. The real Tommy Robinson was the leader of the Luton Migs, you understand? Now here's the thing, I accomplished it, and if you watch it, you'll see what I've done. Now here's the thing, after the fact, we had this boxing match set up, and he's pulled out of it twice. Now you have him in your jails, baby. And here's what I want you to do. A lot of people is calling for him to be released. Elon Musk is calling for him to be released. I want to make a deal with you, Starmer. Here's the thing, what you do is you arrange a boxing match between me and him, all right? And if he wins, you commute his sentence. But if I win, I get knighted. And they've asked me, many people of the Great Britannia, they say they want me to be knighted. And if you watch, there's a sofa involved. And since the guy can't fight, and me, I'm going to fight for another title. I fought for a title last year, understand, in DKM Plush, in London, Clapham Grand. And now I'm going to fight for another title in Plymouth versus the Bionic Boxing Barber, you see. So what we can do to make it a little more even, since the guy is not a good fighter, we can make it a sofa match. It's a special stipulation. You put a sofa in the ring, and I'll lay down on the sofa with the gloves, and put the referee, and bang. And like I said, you commute a sentence if he wins. So I'm trying to do something good for all the supporters. Now here is the thing. If you agree to this, what you do, let him out on house arrest. He cannot do any cocaine. That's a stipulation, because that's what these guys do. I used to be the protest movement. They get sniffed up and they get a methamphetamine and they go out there and they kick off and stuff. So he's a cocaine addict. Help him out. No cocaine allowed. He'll be out on house arrest.
okay? And he trains, and we have this match, and he could have made $10 million if he would have accepted the boxing match with me, but he refused to do it. He already backed out and pulled out twice with the great Kesto One. Talking about Big Rat TV. You could talk to him. He's one of the masterminds behind this as well. He already had a setup to be in Wembley Conference Arena, and it's a long story, and you can look into it. You can have your guys look into it, understand? But what I'm asking you is you let the YAXLEY out. I'm asking you to free Tommy Robinson, all right? You let him out for the purpose of training, and we have our fight. And since he didn't want to take 10 million pounds, you understand, you can keep his side of the money, and me and you can negotiate. I'll keep my side of the money, and you can use his money for all his victims. Because here's the thing, when you fight against right-wingers, I have the history of fighting against Nazi skinheads, and I've been in prison with it, and we eradicated them in Florida. And the thing is, we did it with violence. But you can't fight fire with fire. What you do to undermine the right wing is you outsmart them, and you wind them up, and you show that you're more clever. KEIR Starmer! You know what it is, Derek Diablo. I want you to free Tommy Robinson, Imposter Tommy Robinson, Steve YAXLEY. And I want you to let him come out to box me on a special condition that he's gonna box me. You understand? And if he wins, then you commute his sentence. But he's not gonna win. I'm gonna win. And if I win, I get knighted. And I get all the money. And you take his share of the money and you give it to charity. And you give it to his victim's daddy.